Alright, Jen, this is what we're looking at. 3 hang snatches. And we're going right below the knee. 3 consecutive lifts, right? So, what we're going to look at, you're doing a lot of good things that are good in this video. So you're going below the knee, and then you realize, oh, I can get more tension on the hamstring. So you push your knees back right there, which is good. Now all of a sudden you feel tension in the hamstring. You got weight to the outside and kind of middle towards the back of your foot, right? That's what we're going for. From here, so you're gonna try and stay over that bar longer. You're doing a good job sweeping it in, but I want you to stay over that bar even longer. You jump forward on this snatch, or you catch it forward. I think you might catch it forward, but the reason is you're not staying over the bar long enough. So you got to stay over that bar. But what is good, let's look at your heels. Your torso is pretty much vertical when you go into your jump, which is good. So your heels are staying on the floor until your torso is about vertical, you know. That's fairly decent. I'd like to, if you could try and keep your heels on the floor until you get to about here, you know. Try and stay in those heels as long as you can. We're going to be able to build more tension in our knees before we go into our jump. That's our jump, right? And that's when the heels come off the ground. So, you know, when we talk about triple extension, everything's fully extended. Hips, knees, and ankles fully extended. You leave the ground. You know, we got to start getting away from that whole leaving the ground thing. Triple extension should just be toes up and then heels down to the ground. I think you're jumping up a little bit too high also. So let's see. From there, I'd like to see you to keep your elbows up higher. You kind of drift your elbows back. I'd like to see that high pull. You know how we do high pulls in that snatch warm-up, and we get that bar underneath our chin. We get that bar up underneath our chin with our elbows up high. Right? This is kind of the consistent form of what we call mummy arms. How the arms come straight out and the bar is not really coming up under our chin. But it's alright. You're keeping it fairly close to you. And remember, like I said, you catch this one forward on the toes and then go forward. Now, I want to see something. Right about there, it's about as deep as you catch that. So, you know, just kind of point it out to you. Do you think this is a parallel squat or below parallel squat? I'll let you answer that. Alright, snatch number 2. So below the knees, good. Tension on the hamstring. Go into our snatch. So again, you're staying on your heels. Staying on the heels until our torso is, you know, fairly consistent, fairly vertical. Then you go into the jump. This one, I'm going to point something out to you again. This catch is good and deep, but I think, alright, so we're looking, so you see right there your butt wings, right? You're going to go and your hips are going to curl underneath. You know, what I think a lot of that is you're going to have to stay on your flexibility, stay on your hip stretches, and we're going to have to keep getting your core stronger. Because if you look at your back, it's like kind of this, and then it kind of goes out and around again. And that's just pretty typical because your hips are curling under, right? But you made the catch. You're going to have to stay on that or your back's going to stay tight. As long as your hips keep curling under like that, you're gonna be over-rotating your hips. And then number 2, same thing. And, well, I'll say that at the end. So hips, and then underneath. But this is what we call the elevator, right? All 3 of these, you caught it high, pretty much power snatch, and then rode it down into a squat and stood up. You have to get consistent with catching it deep into a squat, but that'll come. One thing that helps with kind of catching it in a deeper squat is I know it's hard and we're still trying to get over an injury, but push the weights. You got to get underneath some heavier weights. It'll just train your body to get deeper into that catch. So when you're feeling 100% again, you know what I mean, just try and keep pushing those weights up. But overall, it wasn't bad.